Hey there, property people. Welcome to the Regional Property Show, where we discuss topics designed to educate and inform listeners on how to get the most from their real estate experience in the Ballarat and surrounding areas. My name is Stu Brien, and I'm a licensed real estate agent and the owner of Stone Real Estate Ballarat. We're part of a large network of offices throughout Australia with a dedicated team servicing the Ballarat and surrounding community. If you would like to contact our office to discuss anything related to residential sales or rentals, you can call us on 5341 2200 during business hours, or just Google Stone Real Estate Ballarat. That's Stone, S-T-O-N-E, Real Estate Ballarat. Selling a house is stressful enough without added pressures that come into the process, particularly when it comes time to settle and relocate. So we've sat down with Paulo Woodley from MyConnect, go through some of the things that you can do in order to speed up the whole process of getting services connected like power, water and gas. So this is a quick chat with Paulo. Could save you a little bit of time. So if you have any questions or we'd like to talk to someone from MyConnect, we've put the details in the show notes. Welcome to Paulo, and it's great to have you in today because one of the things that I like to do is to give listeners and viewers, there's a camera, by the way, it's over there. Did you want to look? Hey, there you go. Well done. One of the things I do like to do is I like to give people information about things that relating to real estate that is going to help them with, reducing friction, and what it is that you can do certainly does that. So we'll get into that in a couple of secs. But
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, because your backstory is interesting. You actually came back from the UK about, 2016? Is that right?
That is correct. Yes, Stu. So my wife and I lived over there for about 5 years.
Yep.
And for family reasons, we decided to come back.
Yep.
But it was a decision that we made to go over there and experience the lifestyle, experience the culture, and work-wise. So yeah.
Okay. So back in 2016, what did you do when you got back to Australia?
Yeah. So basically, I did my certificates over in the UK for personal training.
Yep.
So I've done that for the past 8 years whilst I was over there, and then when I came back, started doing it again, and then MyConnect approached me to do the role in terms of sales, and so I've said, yeah, happy days. Yeah.
Right. And I think you're regionally based, so maybe, aren't you?
Yes. So I'm based in Bendigo.
Yeah.
So I do all regional.
Yep.
Across Victoria, and I do the southeast suburbs of Melbourne as well. So.
Right. Okay. All right. So to explain for the listeners this and viewers, what you do is you essentially look after organisations like real estate agents, and I think you've also looked after a variety of other organisations as well, like finance brokers and so forth. Is that right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. So what is it you actually do for the organisation?
Basically, I'm a business manager for MyConnect, and I liaise with all the real estate agents, builders, mortgage brokers, conveyancers, to assist their tenants and their purchasers in regards to the MyConnect services, so utility connections across Australia and in Victoria itself.
Okay. All right, so we better talk about what MyConnect actually is. So tell me about MyConnect, because there'll be a lot of people out there that will probably not even come across the sort of services that you guys provide until they need it. So let's drill into that a little bit further and discuss how it is that you can help people.
Yeah, sure. So with MyConnect, what we do is we connect all the tenants and buyers and vendors in terms of connections when they move into a place.
Okay. What's a connection? Talk to people about what the connections are.
Electricity, gas, and internet. We can also submit the water for them as well for tenants. Mm-hmm. And we also do ad hoc removalists as well and cleaners within the Melbourne fringe as well. So
right.
There's a variety in terms of what we do.
Okay.
Assisting them in one call.
Right.
Moving the phone. 8 minutes, roughly.
Yep.
And then it's the convenience of them when they move in. That's the connections.
So what you're saying is that someone who's moving into a new property, and they don't have to have been a purchaser or a tenant, they can be pretty much anyone.
Correct.
Right. They can call your call center.
That's correct. Yes.
And then organize to have all of their services, effectively, all the utilities, connected at one place, one location.
That's correct, Stu. Yeah, absolutely. So we're based in Collins Street, so that's our head office.
Right.
So we've got a team of 125 plus, and there's about 60 customer service agents that purely focus on the tenants and the purchasers in terms of the connections. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about what the key benefits are. Why would someone want to do this? Why would they choose to go down using a connection service, MyConnect, as opposed to doing it themselves?
Very good question. It's the convenience.
Yep.
It comes down just to purely the convenience, because if you're on average spending about 45 minutes to an hour on a retail call, we can narrow it down to the best retailers. We've got 20 plus on our books,
Okay.
or on our panel. And basically what happens is our customer service agents will take them through the whole process of the retailers that we have, the rates, the plans, and within that period, we can get them connected.
Okay. So they're not limited to one or two different retailers. You've got the ability to provide them options.
Correct. We've got a partner of a variety,
Yeah.
so they can choose from the supply retailers that we have on there as well. So
What's a supply retailer?
that'll be, for example, if we've got Origin Energy that's on our books, we've got AGL, we've got Energy Australia, with Momentum, etc. So yeah, there is a variety that they can choose from.
Okay. All right. Can commercial tenants do this as well, or is this just purely for residential?
At the moment, we're doing purely for residential. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So there's the sorts of connections that can be connected using someone like MyConnect.
Sure.
And I should, for the sake of full disclosure here, MyConnect are not the only company that does this, are they? There are other people out there that do this as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
so you're saying that electricity, I would imagine that's the most common one.
Yes.
But you can do gas.
Yes.
Can do internet.
Can do internets.
What if the internet's actually not connected to the site? Is that something that you guys look after, or does that have to be done first?
It has to be done first. So there's a lot of compliance checks in the background. So it comes down to the established home. It comes down to new build. It comes down to the landlord. It comes down to literally if there's internet available at that property. So there is a lot of back end work in terms of it.
Yep, gotcha. And gas.
Yes.
Now, and not everyone necessarily has gas connected, of course. So, what about for people in those outer regions that aren't actually connected to town gas, for example, but use bottled gas and so on?
We can assist them as well. So we're partnered up with Origin that do bottled gas. So anyone that is remote and there is no gas lines within that property, we can assist them with the bottled gas as well.
And remote connected internet, for example, I don't know the name of it, Starlink or something like that. Is that sort of, so if they don't have NBN connected to the house, for example, but it uses I don't know, satellite.
Yeah. We don't have assistance in terms of the satellite at this stage.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you never know that.
Yeah. Okay. So down the bottom. Okay. All right. So, if that sounds really valuable, because from the perspective of someone who's going through the exercise of purchasing a house or as a tenant moving in, the whole process of having to, relocate yourself is quite overwhelming in itself. So the having connection services to allow them to not have to worry about it, I imagine that's probably where the greatest value comes from. What about disconnections? Is that possible as well? And do you look after the disconnection side of things as well?
We can, to a certain extent, depending on the supply retailer as well.
Yeah.
So we can assist them to provide them that service. But as I said, it just comes down to, the retailer at this stage.
So once they're connected, right, so you go through the process, you get all connected. If they have any issues on the way through, who do they contact?
So that's a good question. So in terms of, let's say, for example, if there was no power at the site, we can investigate it on our end.
Okay.
So we've got a team in our head office in Melbourne that can assist, and we can track it down by the retail. just to follow up in regards to the power situation.
Yep.
And then we'll follow up with yourself in terms of what's happening, and then get it sorted.
By yourself, you mean the
Correct.
the owner, the tenant, service. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Anyone on the other end. Yeah.
Okay. So, who are they getting bills from? Like in terms of, I ring up and say, all right, MyConnect, I want to get my power connected and all that sort of stuff. Who's billing me?
It'll be the retailer.
Okay.
Directly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then once we've organized the connections from the retailer, then the tenant or the purchaser will then deal with the retailer that they've chosen.
Okay. All right. And so that would suggest that any time that there are any issues around connection, you can just get your bill and go through that. And
That's correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any lock-in periods? Like, is there any kind of contracts or anything like that?
No locking contracts. There's no fees. Literally, it's a free service.
It's a free service.
It's a free service. That's correct.
Okay. So what you're saying is that you provide this whole system, if you like, of connection, simplicity, and so forth, at no cost to the person, the end user, effectively.
That's correct.
Okay. So no lock-in contracts. How long does the process take? You mentioned 8 minutes. Surely it's got to take longer than that.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. So literally what happens is we've got a great team in our office that deal with, the serviceability of what we're doing. So they can narrow down to the best solution, the best retailer for the tenant and the purchaser as well. So yeah, the reviews are high as well. So you'll find that on Google. I think it's 4.8 stars.
Yeah.
And the amount of reviews on there that's been left, you'll see the positive side of it.
Yeah. How long has MyConnect been around as a company, though?
It is going to be 20 years.
Is that right?
Real correct. Yes. Yeah.
Because I sort of imagine that, there's a sense of uncertainty when people are sort of going down this pathway because, they think that they need to do it all themselves and so forth because they're worried that maybe there's a catch.
Yes.
And so at the end of the day, MyConnect's in business to make money, obviously, as real estate agents and all that sort of stuff. And full disclosure, from my perspective, we do refer MyConnect as a partner in our business. And of course, I can, I'm happy to disclose the fact that I do get a small fee from MyConnect if someone does connect, but the idea is to do it in a way that is, beneficial for a vendor, for a tenant, or for a buyer, and so forth. So I suspect that MyConnect is a company that covers more than just Ballarat and places like us.
That's correct.
Where are you?
So we cover the whole of Australia. So we're excluding Northern Territory. Sorry, I apologize. And Tasmania.
Okay.
So every other states across the eastern board, South Australia.
Did they not have power in Tasmania?
No, that's like.
Sorry to our listeners in Tasmania if there are any.
I apologize.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so right around Australia, so anyone who might listen to this from other states and so forth, obviously connection services, even to remote areas. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Absolutely.
Now, is there anything coming up, anything on the horizon that you can reveal at this stage, or is that trade secrets?
Yeah, it's trade secrets at this stage, but then we do have a couple of something coming up very soon. So yeah.
Now, just for the benefit of people who might have properties that they're thinking of selling, for example.
Sure. Yeah.
So what can happen is that when a property's, let's say it's changed hands within a family, for example, let's say there was a deceased estate.
Yeah.
And one of the things that people wrestle with is, should I keep the power connected, because, it's costing me money all the way through and so on. Or maybe the power had been turned off because the place had been vacant for a period of time. What can they do? Because getting the whole thing connected and having it sort of running through indefinitely can be unnecessary and expensive and so on. What can they do from that perspective?
It's a good question. If the vendor or let's say, for example, the seller wanted to organize the connections and they would like to run the electricity and gas for a temporary basis, we can do it.
Okay.
So it's an option for them as a vendor as well.
So a temporary connection,
temporary
for a period of time. Do they have to? Do you know whether or not they have to specify a time frame?
No, they don't. So what happens is, let's say, for example, they notify you, Stu, as to when they would like it disconnected. And then we can do a final meter read, and we'll give you an ETA of the disconnection date as well, or on a bill.
Okay. All right. So temporary connections is something that would be beneficial for someone who is thinking about selling their property and wants to have lights on and, air conditioners running or heaters running and so forth.
That's correct. Yeah. So if they've got a listing, for example, compliance checks, if they need to, we can assist them with that in terms of getting the temporary connection. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. All right. So, how do people get in touch with MyConnect? What's the best sort of, I suppose, method for them to reach out?
Yeah. So if it is an agent like yourself, they can reach out to us in terms of the website. So we've got a MyConnect website. So we can potentially give them a call in terms of organizing a discussion, having a meeting with them, and then going through the whole process in hand as well.
Okay. And the users, in terms of the people that might need to get in touch with is there a call center they can ring?
There is a number that they can ring as well. So you can call us on 03 9020 2650.
Okay, excellent. All right, and we'll pop those details into the show notes so that people can access that. But thanks so much for coming in today, mate. I really appreciate it. And I should point out that what Paulo does is most of the time when he comes and visits, he brings this big box of donuts. Today, I note that you didn't bring the donuts with you.
It's summer.
Yes. All right.
I promise to bring in something.
No, that's right. No, thanks, mate. Great to see you again. And we'll look forward to catching up soon anyway.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Cheers, mate.
Thank you. Cheers.
If you have a friend or family member that you feel might benefit from some of the information that you've just heard, then it would mean the world to us if you could share this episode with them personally. Oh, and one last thing before you go. We have some really interesting topics planned for the upcoming episodes, so if you have any comments, feedback, or real estate topics that you'd like covered, I would love to hear from you. So please reach out to us via email, which is info@regionalproperty.show, or leave us a note in the comments section. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to be notified when new episodes are released. I'm Stu Brien. Thanks for listening.